What's up guys, Andrew Baena here, and I'm coming at you with another top list of 2017. This time around I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite songs. So in this video I'm going to be talking about a bunch of songs that I really liked in 2017 that were not from the top 5 albums I talked about in my last video. So if you haven't seen my top 5 albums of 2017, be sure to go check it out. But anyways, that's enough about that. Let's get right into the top 10 songs of 2017. So with all that being said, the first song I'm going to talk about is called On Her Mind by Volumes featuring Puya. Here's a little clip of what that sounds like.
Locked down and she's a loaded gun, 'cause she knows how I like my fun. Straight down into another one, 'cause she knows she's not the only one. You're not the only one. You think I owe you some. You think you know me, but you're not the lonely one. I don't feel anything anymore. Let me in my eyes.
So it's no secret that I've been a huge fan of Volumes for a very long time. A lot of my songwriting is definitely very influenced by Volumes, especially their earlier stuff. So with that being said, of course it makes sense to talk about one of their songs on this list. The reason I chose On Her Mind, even though it's not the heaviest song, I feel like it's the most catchy and overall most different for Volumes, which I know some people were not a fan of because it features Puya, who's a rapper and does, you know, a rap feature on the song. But I thought it worked really well with Volumes' kind of image and their vibe that they like to put out. So I personally really liked this song. And also, if you don't think that that chorus is catchy as fuck, then something is wrong with you.
We do this all the time. Now she's coming over every night. I'm always on my mind. She can show things, yeah, everything. I'm always on the line.
Alright, so the next song I'm going to talk about is actually not a metal song, it's a hip-hop song by an artist named Chigga. The song is called Glow Like That, and here's what that sounds like.
I was just thinking about you and it made me think of colors of the space. 70 miles up in my coupe and not a thought about stepping on my brakes. I don't see you glow like that, I must say that I'm proud. Thinking about the times when you were going to my house. Had to let you go like that, I say it fucked me up. You live in my head without a doubt.
So if you've heard of Chigga before, you probably have seen his hilarious music video for Dat Stick or the remix. He's been releasing a song every 2 or 3 months for the past year, and personally Glow Like That is my favorite of his. It has a really cool guitar loop going on throughout the entire song, and the beat is just really cool. I'm admittedly not into hip-hop very much, so forgive me if I sound like a total noob here. But regardless, the song is really good, and I'm always looking forward to hearing what Chigga is doing next. Alright, so jumping straight from rap to the most heavy song on my list, this song is called Abyssal Mouth by Humanity's Last Breath. Here's a clip of what that sounds like. So Humanity's Last Breath is the project of the drummer of Viljarda named Buster. He also runs a recording studio called Impact Studios. I use some of his products in some of my videos as well. Anyways, so if you're a fan of Viljarda, you're probably going to like Humanity's Last Breath. It's basically just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's, in my opinion, the heaviest song of any song of 2017. It's pretty extreme and weird and out there, but I think it sounds so cool, like mixing those super dissonant highs with those really, really low C-sharp notes. Just sounds so cool, and it works so well, and it just gives you this big foreboding, I don't know, this feeling of impending doom, basically, and I don't know, that's very cool in my opinion. Alright, so the next song is called Stitch by Wage War, and here's a clip of what that sounds like. So I had heard of Wage War a few times over the past couple of years, but this song in particular for some reason really spoke to me. I think that just the intro to the song kicks so much ass that you kind of just can't help but bang your head, and that's always the sign of a good song. Alright, the next song I'm going to talk about is Doomsday by Architects, and here's a clip of what that sounds like.
Remember when hell had frozen over? The cold still burns underneath my skin. The water is rising all around me, and there is nothing left I can give. All these tears I've shed, I saw the wildfire spread. You said you cheated time, but heaven in my head.
So in addition to being a fantastic song, the other reason why this made my top list is because it is Architects' first song without their primary writer and guitarist Tom Searle, who unfortunately passed away last year. From my understanding, this song was written using either parts of something that he had already written before he passed away, or maybe he had written the whole song. One of the two, I can't quite remember at the moment, unfortunately. But anyways, that's kind of why this song has so much significance, in my opinion, because even though it was such a monumental drastic change for the band and something that I imagine was extremely hard to overcome, especially because their drummer is Tom's twin brother. But it's always really cool to see a band persevere and carry on, especially when they release such an amazing song as their first song back without one of the founding members. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more Architects in the future, and I'm very, very happy that they are not calling it quits, because they are one of my favorite bands. So yeah, that's why this song is on this list. Since we're already on the topic of Tom Searle and Architects, the next song on my list is called Paragon by Northlane. Here's a clip of that.
Now that he's gone, we're going to miss him.
So even though this song is by Northlane, it does have a very special relation to Architects and Tom Searle in particular. I just found this out, but in fact Northlane got their name from an Architects song, and in addition to that, almost all of the lyrics on Paragon are references to Architects songs, which I thought was really cool and a really beautiful tribute to Tom Searle. In addition to that, the song also kicks ass. It's the heaviest song on Northlane's newest album. I know some people think that Northlane's new direction is a little weird and they don't particularly like it, which is fine, you're entitled to your opinion. I personally think it's awesome, and this is probably my favorite song on the album, mostly because of the lyrics. There are a lot of other good songs on this album too, but yeah, if I had to pick one from Northlane, this would be the one for this year. Alright, so the next song is by a Russian band called Shrezzers, and this song is called Delight. So Shrezzers is a really interesting band. It's very hard to say as well. They used to be called Shredding Brazzers, but they probably had to change that because they had the word Brazzers in their name, which is probably inappropriate and caused problems for them. But that doesn't really matter. So anyways, they changed their name to Shrezzers. If you've ever heard of a guitarist named Chaco Slayek, it's his band, or his newest band I should say. It's very, very cool, very different. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just like the perfect metalcore with a lot of like progressive elements that aren't really like in your face, but if you ever get the chance to look at any of their guitar tabs, you'll be like amazed by how crazy the songwriting actually is. So I've been a very big fan of Shrezzers since I heard of them, and I cannot wait to hear more songs by them. I know they're working on a couple right now, and I've seen like teasers of a new music video or something like that on Instagram, but regardless, I hope to hear something new from them very soon. The next song that I'm going to talk about is called Apnea by Currents, and here's what that sounds like.
You'll never sleep again! From the bedroom upstairs, you're screaming out my name. I open the door, but no one lies will never be the same. She lays in tears, she's standing there. Gone through the window and fled, another life left in ruin.
So this was the first song I had ever heard by Currents. I had never even heard the name before, and I think it was recommended to me on one of my past Baena's Best Bands episodes, and I'm very glad that I checked them out because this song in particular is just amazing. It's very, very heavy, but I really like the melodic content that the guitars bring in, especially. The lyrical content is pretty insane too, in a good way. And yeah, just overall this is a fantastic song. It hits really hard and it's always fun to listen to, especially very loudly in your car. Alright, so I've only got 2 more to go. The next one is called Apollo by Crystal Lake, and here's what that sounds like.
Broke it down, this planet was mine, split at your steps everything. Now, forever, forever. I wanna know this, what to this.
So Crystal Lake is a Japanese metalcore band. Apparently they've been around for a really long time, but only really started becoming big a couple years ago, 3 years ago or so, after they released an awesome cover of Limp Bizkit's Rollin'. If you haven't seen that music video, I suggest you go check it out. But anyways, they've released 2 albums since then, and that's kind of when I started paying attention to them. And then this single this year, and I think that this single is fantastic, and it really makes me excited to hear what they're going to do on their latest album, which I assume is upcoming. Yeah, just a very, very cool band. It's kind of like the perfect mixture of like something like the Ghost Inside meets Architects. That's kind of the 2 influences that I'm really hearing when I listen to this band, and I love both of those bands, so that explains why I like them so much. Alright, and the final song on my list is called Feel Nothing by The Plot and You, and here is a clip of what that sounds like.
And I feel nothing for you. I feel nothing for you. And I found too late. Like buried dissonance happens and you won't change, won't change.
So The Plot and You has been around for a very long time, but for some reason I never really got into them. They kind of have switched up genres quite a bit from my memory. Like I think the first time I heard of them, they were borderline deathcore perhaps. That was a long time ago though, so I was very surprised when I heard this new song, and it sounded almost reminiscent of kind of what Bring Me the Horizon did with their last album, which I also loved. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a very, very cool song, and the chorus is so simple but so beautiful, and it's so catchy. I would argue and say that it's the perfect chorus of any song I've heard this entire year. I don't know what it is in particular about it, but for some reason every time I hear that chorus it just like sends chills up my spine, which is always a good thing when you're listening to music. So there you have it, that's my list of top 10 songs of 2017. Again, they were in no particular order. Let me know in the comments what your top songs of 2017 were, and if there are any that I missed out that you think I should check out and that you think I would like based on, you know, what I listened to and what I just talked about in this video. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, I really appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I do 1 video a month where I talk about new bands or new songs, and if you're interested in stuff like that, then definitely check those out. There'll be a link to the playlist with all of my previous editions of Baena's Best Bands below. And with that being said, that's all for this time. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year's and all of that good stuff. I will see you guys in 2018.